Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? Just thinking about the type of videos that I've done so far, I'm realizing that what I'm primarily doing is introducing the four elements and how we kind of take that into our physiology and in a hopes of balancing ourselves. So I'll kind of cover what I mean by balance later on in this video. But the four elements being air, wind, water, fire, and heart for some that are Captain Planet enthusiasts. But I'll stick to the four elements for this one. Now I've kind of discussed air with breathing, water with how we'd kind of get that natural element off the glacier or off the mountain, and minerals are what would be our earth element, which is what grounds us and makes us feel rooted in the earth. But the fourth element, fire, is something that I feel is not very well understood in our culture, and I want to go into that a little bit. So in the Empedocles model, fire would be what would be the inspiring element or the motivational element, and this is what gives us that internal fire or that internal digestion. Now, keeping it to a more physical sense, however, for us we use the sun as that element. We consider the sun to be what gives us that external cue to start moving. And what the sun does for us physiologically is also not very well understood. Many of us know that we take some of the sun's rays and synthesize vitamin D out of it. However, it's actually only one part of the spectrum of light from the sun that we synthesize vitamin D, and that's the ultraviolet rays. Now, you're probably all wondering, like, oh, ultraviolet rays, isn't that what forms skin cancer, glaucoma, or any other type of skin illness? And there's a lot of misconception I find regarding this. Now, there are many different spectrum or parts of the sun that we utilize, but for vitamin D, it's only ultraviolet. So when we are putting sunscreens on, when we are putting sunglasses on, we're actually limiting our exposure to these beneficial rays. So what does vitamin D do for us? It is actually our carrier for minerals and vitamins. If we don't have sunlight, we can't absorb any of this. We can take in all we want, and we will have a lot of difficulty moving minerals, and we will likely form imbalances in our body very, very quickly. And none of us know, no one knows better than Canadians or Siberians what it's like living in the winter time. Now, we generally feel a bit more lethargic, a little bit more achy, a little bit more agitated by things that happen, because we're missing kind of this interaction with the elements. Now, the nomadic tribes of the past, they would travel south during the winter time. They appreciated what it meant to have these elements, this warmth, this interconnectedness with nature. And we see it in the birds, we see it in the animals who migrate. This is well understood by them. So what am I trying to say here? Perhaps I'm trying to say that when we are outdoors, we are a little bit more in harmony. We're a little bit more at peace with what is going on. And these elements that we see are reminding us of our own internal cues. Now, these internal cues, endogenously, we're actually following them. I can stay in a dark room for 48 hours, and my body will start excreting melatonin at night, even though it doesn't see the light dimming. And my body will subsequently start creating serotonin in the morning or when the sun's rising because of this understanding. We live in harmony with nature and its patterns. And this is something that brings us into balance, which is what I want to talk about to finish this video. Balance is having this peace within us that is a balance of earthiness, of airiness, of fire, of wind. And it's understanding how we move about, how we kind of caress the world, so to speak. And though that sounds very metaphorical, it's more an understanding of where to contract our energy and where to expand our energy, where to listen or when to express our creativity. And what better way than to be outdoors? than to see these rhythms happening, to see nature take place, to see the seasons changing. This is what balance is. This is what bringing all the elements into unification is. So, I wish you the very best, and perhaps being outdoors might be what I'll pass on here as a really fine key, a tool to use. So, I wish you the very best. Thank you. And leave me feedback on anything, because I'd love to hear how everything's working for you. Alright?